Good.
All right, I'd like to call our November 2025 meeting to order. Members present are Joseph Casasano, David Baird, Diane Magliosi, James McNamara. Stan Starr will not be with us today. And we have a guest today, Francesco Delaney, Director of Client Services. Francesco?
Thank you so
You're
much.
on.
Thanks for having me. Nice to see you all again. Another year's flown by. Typically in these reviews, as you all know, we cover good fund performance, talk a little bit about markets, quick organizational update. And I know you folks are in between consultants, so any topics that come up that you want to discuss more closely, happy to do so. And I'm also happy to come back anytime you need me to help you during this period when you're kind of figuring things out.
Great.
As you all know, I know you folks aren't shy, you reach out to me whenever you have questions, as you always do, so please continue to do so. And if you have more questions now,
Yes.
we totally get it, feel free to continue to reach out. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, you can get as much prim as you want. And we have 4 to 5 public meetings every quarter. So December 4th is our next prim board meeting. You can dial in, you can see all the materials, you can see what gets approved, you can see what we talk about, you can see what the prim board members ask us, the prim staff. So it's always another, opportunity to get another view of prim more directly, in addition to myself. So let me jump in. The September, we're gonna discuss 9/30 performance. So the first fiscal quarter 26 financial markets continue to be very strong.
What page you on?
No pages yet. The fund ended at a record balance of 121 billion. That passed the previous record last quarter of 120 billion. So for December quarter alone, for the quarter, we did 4.4% net of all fees. The trailing 12 months was 9.6%. So for the trailing 12 months, we had a gain at the PRIT fund, and you all get your pro rata share of that, of 10.6 billion. So that's a very solid accomplishment in a very volatile market. So I will jump to a slide 5. We always get asked, how do we steer the prim ship? I like that we have a lighthouse on this page, on slide 5. It's pretty clear, we all care about how the returns are, right? You have to pay beneficiaries and costs, et cetera, through the returns. But we think it's equally important to care about how much risk do you take to get those returns. And not last, but not even not least, we think these 3 are equally important, is how much cost do you have to get those returns and at what risk level? And the last line in here says, we prefer a basis point of cost reduction, meaning reducing expenses, over a basis point of return because you can count on the savings. Especially with inflation, like we've all seen the last few years, we're all looking for more savings, right? So in the PRIT portfolio, we're maniacal about keeping the costs low. We're always looking at because you can count on those returns, and every time you bank savings, those grow, and those really help us consistently. The other piece that I would add is that we always get asked, what do you think is going to happen next? What's going to happen next? What's going to happen here? What's going to happen there? Pretty consistently, no one's been able to do that. So instead, we have a portfolio, and we'll get to the slide that shows all the different strategies in the PRIT portfolio. We like to say that we have an all-weather portfolio. So no matter what the weather is and what the market brings, our portfolio should have components that should always perform well in any market environment. I'm just gonna flip through these slides quickly. 6, these are just these committees that I mentioned. So there's a prim board meeting December 4th. The investment committee was last week. Real estate committee was last week as well. Admin and audit was yesterday. Was 2 days ago. We had our stewardship meeting today. Comp meeting was yesterday also. So, you can get those committee structures are kind of layers of approvals and reviews and, what happens at PRIM in terms of the mechanics. And we have fantastic folks that volunteer to be on those PRIM board and committees. We're thrilled that we can get that kind of talent. Excuse me, slide 10. So everyone, Stan used to make fun, this is where I pat myself on the back, but these are recognitions by third parties above PRIM. And maybe I'll start with, I think, maybe the meatier ones. You guys know I always use these restaurant analogies. These are the back of the house. This is the kitchen clean, is the floor clean. So the the fourth from the top, the GIPS compliant. We're one of only a handful of public plans that achieved the GIPS designation, and I've been at Prim 9 years. This is since I've been at Prim. And I always thought it was interesting that we went and got this designation, or attempted it. We've achieved it for the 8th consecutive year, even though we already have for the 20th consecutive year, the GFOA's Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting, the GFOA. So, you know, I thought that was pretty good work to do, is like, okay, if the Prim investment team can only run as fast as the operations are in lockstep, right? The team has to work together. So, you know, Matt Leposki, Prim's chief investment operations officer, does a fantastic job of running the operations at the back of the house, reporting, performance, working with any of our investment team members and dealing with managers, et cetera. And then the bottom of the page, here is our private equity. You know, you guys are all a fan favorite. That last bullet point clearly states that Prim's private equity is ranked 4th in the country based on 200 plans that were analyzed based on 10-year performance. And we've got a bunch of number ones in there as well. So I assume you want me to spend a little bit more time on private equity, right? Slide 38, so we'll go back in the machine here. So you folks have been a consistent contributor to the vintage year program outside of the PRIT core. I'd be remiss I didn't mention, you get about 16% of the PRIT fund is already in private equity, and you're getting an extra boost of it. Last year, this current year, 25, will probably fill the vintage year bucket up to about 70%. That means if you ask for $100 of private equity, we're probably only gonna find investments that would ask you all to contribute $70 of that 100, meaning $30 will not be used. And what does used mean? It'll be you'll contribute your pro rata share of any investment in private equity vintage year 25 when you get those monthly letters from Jennifer. Sometimes they say it's a call, meaning you have to send us capital.
Yep.
Sometimes it's a distribution, a net distribution. So we net these all against each other. And every month, sometimes we have to give us capital. Some months you'll just get capital returned back to you. So vintage year 26 is gonna look pretty similar to 25 in terms of size, in terms of type of investments. You know, we have a large buyout, SMID, growth equity. They're just different flavors of the spectrum, and we're predominantly in North America and in European. We have some allocations there as well in private equity.
Is it too soon to estimate the funding ratio on that for the 26 year?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So this is slide 38 again. So what happens is managers have to go to the market and say, you pick any of our favorite private equity managers. They raise their hand and say, we're gonna raise capital for a new fund. And we kind of know who we think is gonna come to market, but they still have to, right? We kind of fight to stay in line. We don't want to lose our spot. Like, we like our spot with our great managers. So they probably talk to us a little bit, hey, we're thinking we're gonna come to market first quarter, second quarter, or the second half of the year. We tell them, yep, we're thinking, you know, there's a discussion about how much they may need to raise. And then we'll kind of give an indication of how much we think we'll take of that. And then in a typical year, we probably do, I had to guess, like 12 approvals for private equity managers. Actually, on December 4th, you'll hear, I can say that, yeah, you'll hear about 2 or 3 different names of private equity managers that we're proposing to allocate capital to. So, and then you'll get your pro rata share for those. For 25, I haven't heard any indication that it won't be any different than what I just mentioned for
You mean
vintage year
26? Okay.
Correct.
Are you saying that maybe the first quarter might not be the best time to?
Yeah, no, it's not really in terms of timing. So the way, when they raise their hand, so let's say you raise your hand for vintage year 26, then at that point, it probably usually takes about a quarter. Like, even if a manager is approved on the roster, I would think your 26 allocations probably take about a quarter. But if we looked, we probably never asked you for probably vintage year capital of a new year in the first month.
You'd have to double check, but yeah, you think you're
Yeah,
right.
so for now, like, our deadline is, I think, December 10th. You've got to raise your hand and say, and send us a letter, says, we want part of a vintage year 26. And then we put everyone together. In a typical year, we have about 20 to 25 retirement boards that raise their hand to get an extra allocation in the print core. Or some of them are not in the core and they're picking their own asset allocation themselves. Questions there?
So when time comes up, it's not really easy for us to say,
Yeah, no, the easy part is when you decide you're gonna do the vintage year, and then from there, it's basically automatic pilot. We deal with the managers, we deal with them raise for capital, we'll send you a monthly letter. So your hard part is not really hard, because you've done it pretty consistently. You have to you have to just determine what level I assume you're gonna do vintage year 26, but I shouldn't assume that. And what dollar amount you would allocate towards there.
Last month, we got a memo on expanding the types and location of the investments. They were gonna go foreign and some other areas.
more foreign? Did we hear it right or read it right, or?
Yeah, that was what Stanley presented, there was more of a Western European influence that
Yeah, I mean-
wasn't there previously, I guess.
Yeah, so I wouldn't say, I would say we're probably looking to add one or two managers. That was building hedge funds. So in a typical year, we may say, okay, we're gonna allocate to a different geography to get more exposure. I wouldn't say there'd be a big tilt. But what I can do is, like, I'm pretty sure that comment was from Bill Lee on hedge funds, but if it's, either way, I'll let you guys know if it was.
I think it's traditionally been domestic, though.
Yeah, it's pretty much, I mean, the
Almost
portfolio is predominant, like I said. Should have said 39. Yeah, so if you look at slide 40, 69% is North America,
40 or 49? 40?
40, sorry. It's that middle chart.
40?
So the big blue, that 69% is in North America, 26% is in Western Europe, and 5% is other.
So that's the 25 chart, so can we predict with the 26, is that gonna be pretty close then?
It should be aligned.
Okay.
I mean, just to also set the table, in a typical year, maybe we get one new private equity manager. A lot of these will be a re-up with an existing manager. Remember, even if we have a big roster of managers, they don't come to market every year. They shouldn't, right? They have our capital. They have to go make that capital turn into, more capital, multiply it. If I had to guess, probably on average, it's probably every 4 years they come to market. So you shouldn't see the same people coming to market that frequently. So, but even when we do have a new manager, it's maybe one in a year. It's really hard to get on the private equity roster. The bars, we're very fortunate, the bar can be pretty high. Conversely, this year, 25, we didn't find enough opportunities that we liked, and enough people didn't come to market, that we thought we could use all the capital that we thought we were gonna allocate to vintage year 25. And I think I would just call that being, good stewards of the capital. We're not gonna, go chase C students when we're only looking for A students to be in the class. I was a B plus student, so I would take offense.
It looked to me like the memo seemed like it was saying it was looking for more places to put money, different places.
Yeah, we're always looking
Which was
for-
good, because one concern I wanted to ask was about the public is going to be getting into the private equity, where they want to change the rules for IRAs, 401Ks, all that, and they're all going to get in, so there's more money going to be thrown at all these things, and it kind of makes things more watered down. So I was wondering, maybe that was a reason why they were trying to expand too, trying to get
Yeah.
ahead of it a little.
if retail investors can get into private markets, that should mean you need to be maybe more judicious on picking your investments because more people are chasing a somewhat limited supply. I think the comment that Stan heard was Billy talking about adding a Western European manager in the hedge fund portfolio. I don't know if did he send you guys a memo you can share, like, I'm happy to take a look at it at some point if needed, or.
I don't know if I have.
No
Excuse
worries.
me, he may have handed us something.
I can just go check my own notes from the meeting. Yeah, but that's a good observation. We're watching it closely. There's can obviously be some change in dynamics if retail investors are gonna be entering the private markets. If you look at our asset allocation strategy, we made no changes to the portfolio. So we like the composition. So if all of a sudden you pick your favorite private market, if we think it's too expensive or too frothy, we just won't buy it. So, we can be pretty patient. We know it's a long-term time horizon. We have to be good stewards of the capital. If we think an area is overheated, we just won't buy it. Or we'll be a seller. Maybe we'll sell some stuff into a hot market.
If you look at the vintage years, is there a period of time when you expect it to peak? Like what is that?
The J curve.
Yeah, what is that peak?
Yeah, the J
period?
curve. So I think maybe you're asking two questions. One is sometimes when there's periods like this year where we're not going to fill the private equity bucket, usually those years, that year and the following on years in that arena seems like they do better. Like it's hard to tell. It seems like we can be pickier, less people are coming to market, the market's a little harder, and we take advantage of that. The J curve is really, when you invest in private equity at the beginning, it's cash is going out, right? So that J curve means the expenses go up, cash goes out, and then it starts turning into value and profit and growth, and they sell those portfolio companies, and there's the unrealized value, and then there's the realized value of the gain, and all those are components in the portfolio value, so.
Is that a 3 or a 4 year window typically?
Yeah, so usually we call it, you plant the seeds, usually 4 years, and then you're usually reaping the benefits another 4 or 5 years, usually like a 10-year cycle typically. I hope I answered your
You did,
question.
thank you.
So slide 13, I think I did a meeting earlier this morning up in Lawrence, and we're talking about, the VIX, and everyone liked this analogy. So the VIX is kind of like humans use a thermometer to know kind of if we have a fever, if we're not feeling well. The markets use the VIX partially. So you can see there at the bottom of slide 13, there's the GFC, there's a big spike. There's the COVID, there's a big spike. That means markets had a fever, not feeling well. And then, Liberation Day was starting to look like we were gonna have another spike, but then it kind of sputtered out. And I think I alluded to this earlier is, it's really hard to predict markets. Who would have raised their hand and said, wow, Prim is gonna have a record year last year, a record quarter and year this year after Liberation Day. And that would have been a pretty gutsy guess, right? And it probably would have been a guess. So, I think what this means is, we're monitoring very closely all the managers, all the investments. We have an internal risk team at Prim that monitors with the investment team. When managers come in a portfolio. We have our own internal research team that just helps decide the allocations. But we don't think it's any time to, there's the wall of worry, as we call it, plenty of things to worry about. But we are very mindful that sometimes the market does look past some volatility. If I were to tell you, who would have guessed, if I can find my note here, who would have guessed that up until 2 days ago, China was up 36% for the year. Germany was up 28%, the UK was up 28%, and Japan was up 20%, while the US was only, I shouldn't say only, was up 14.7%. Like, it's interesting to see how the market unfolds. And slide 15 kind of marries that logic with what the composition of the portfolio is. So every year, and this is the time of year when we decide page 15, what's gonna be in the Prim recipe for the next year. So right now, we're running all kinds of simulations, what we think market expectations are, where are we ending up for the year in terms of allocation. And you can see there on the right-hand column, we made no changes to the Prim portfolio February of 25. So in February of 26, and I'm happy to come and update you all to tell you if we didn't make any changes. If we did, why? And if we didn't, why didn't we? But safe to say, we do rebalance the portfolio monthly in the areas that can take rebalancing, right? Not every area can take rebalancing. But we will be baking the recipe, and then you still have to execute it. Like, even if you say, with us, if you say you want more private equity, you get as much as you want. With us, if we say we want more private equity, we gotta go get the manager, they have to raise their hand that they want capital. You can't just open the spigot, as the PE team would tell me, and just get more of it. Like, you have to, it's a process. Slide 18, this shows the growth in assets. One thing I should have probably started the meeting with, silly me, is, usually in periods of more volatility or changing markets, people ask us about their cash needs. We do about 120 meetings a year across the Commonwealth, and very few people ask us about their liquidity, because we do provide liquidity to all of you. And we're thrilled that, in a typical year, roughly, over like a 5-year period, it probably averages out to be about less than 1%. So this slide 18, that growth of assets, that's a net number. Every time you ask us for capital, we send it to you, and after you send all the capital back to all the participants, this is how the portfolio's grown. So this is a net number, this is not a gross number. Somebody used to, a couple boys, they go, are you really sure? No, 100% sure, 1,000% sure. We talk about every quarter, public meeting, talking about how much is the outflow in a typical year. So slide 21, this is kind of, I was talking about all these strategies that we have at Prim. What are they, what's done well? So as I mentioned, that gold bar there, that's the middle one, the 9.6%. That's the PRIT fund. And then if you look to the left, what's done really well, large cap equity, developed international equity, emerging markets, SMID, those are the things that have done well, right? They've contributed more appropriately to the 9.6. What's not done well? Well, clearly we can see here that US trips was down 11%. So what are those, and why do we have them in the portfolio? They don't seem too good, but they do really well when you have all that volatility. They play great defense when you need to play defense in markets. So they're there kind of as a downside protection. And then real estate, even though it's been, slightly positive, that's a pretty good result in a challenging market. And then as you know, private equity, which you folks are pretty interested in. So next to the PRIT fund, that 9.6%, 3 to the right, 8.8% for the 1 year for PE. And I believe this is our 11th quarter of positive performance in private equity, which is a strong result. So why do I say at the beginning, how do you have an all-weather portfolio? These are all the strategies that are in the portfolio that make that $120 billion. And as you heard earlier, we're always looking for ways to improve the combinations, where how will this manager react, their performance. Is it going to be just exactly what we already have in the portfolio? Then we probably don't need it. If it's going to behave differently, it's probably good for us. If It's like if you go to the gym and you just run on the treadmill, your body gets pretty used to it after a while, right? We want the portfolio to look different, to behave, to continually get stronger. And then we all jump to my second to last slide, slide 24. You know, when I first joined Prim, this portfolio, all of these charts here, slide 24, they look pretty much the same. This color scheme was pretty much identical all the way through. Right? I really remember one of my first meetings, the first year that I was at Prim, was, you know, synchronized global GDP growth. Like, meaning all the economies are running together, everyone's working well, the global economic engine is humming along, cooperating together. You know, the world's a much different place in 9 years that I've been at Prim. So, again, I think this is an opportunity to kind of like, hey, you know, what's the portfolio look like in 10 years? Good question. I mean, we think we're gonna get compensated for the different risk profiles within the portfolio, and we think they have a certain spot in the portfolio to perform, depending, but it's kind of hard to know. That's why we have, even though these are the major food groups, to use my restaurant analogy, those strategies are like the different, you know, there's 7 different ways to make a casserole. So, you know, global equities, we have a lot of different strategies within that. In real estate, same thing. Private equity, same thing. So these are the major food groups. We see how they perform. We're still trying to pick the best of the best within each asset class. But this is how the Prim managers have performed when you put them into their various buckets overall. And then, as our good friend Paul Tedisco always used to say, where the rubber meets the road, slide 25. I say that every meeting. Hope his ears are ringing. So this is as of September 30th, net of fees. These are real dollars, 88 million in assets that you have with Prim. That's 100%. Your since inception return over 7.3%, and this goes back to April 1st of 2008. So this has been a long relationship. We thank you for your trust and commitment to Prim. We work hard to earn your trust every day. And again, hats off to you, to your commitment to the private equity vintage year program. And if I can be helpful in any assessments that you're undertaking, happy to do so. And I'll pause there, see if there are any questions. Don't be shy. So do you
You
folks
said
have,
there was 25 systems that have extra private equity.
some of them, remember, don't use us in the general allocation. They'll pick amongst the various food groups. So slide 27. So the first bullet point is general allocation, the PRIC core. So we have most of our clients are in the PRIC core, and they don't allocate anything else. They're in the core, and that's what they get. Some people say, I'm in the core, and I want extra private equity, like you folks. We have a bunch of those. And then in a typical year, 25 systems, 20 to 25, will do like you folks. They're in the PRIC core, and they want extra allocation. Or they're not in the PRIC core, and they pick, 25% domestic equity. They pick their own combination of all of these and add to the private equity vintage year program.
Do you know who has the highest private equity? How high it is? Not necessarily who it is, but how high or what average maybe?
How much extra do they have, you mean?
Yeah, like I think we're like 24% total, including the 16.
Yeah, I'd probably say, if I had to guess, not more than 4 others have
Or
that much
higher.
extra private equity. If I had to guess, I can go back and look. And their funding level might be different to yours too, so they have their own, their own thoughts on where they should be within the various food groups.
Right.
So we're kind of a different breed or different animal that we're taking so much into private equity.
Yeah, you have an additional allocation to private equity compared to the Precor. And that served you pretty well. Some periods it won't, some periods it will.
But 3 or 4 boards, you said, you think are pretty much like us, like overweighted by 6% or so?
I have to go, I can go check. I'll get you that number. So I'm only gonna check for the ones that are in the core, plus private equity vintage year, and how much extra private equity.
I'm just wondering how much gets to be too much,
That's a realistic question.
you know?
That's a realistic question.
Especially when it's struggling for a while.
Well, you know, it's up and down, but
Well,
That's a
the
very,
it was
long
up,
run.
now it's down, keep going.
that's a very good question. And if you told me you weren't gonna do the vintage year, I would understand. If you told me you wanted to do the vintage year, I would understand. And I'm not sure if, what the actuary gives you feedback, or if,
I guess we could.
or Parrot gives you feedback on your allocation, on your asset allocation strategy compared to the Precor.
No, they haven't.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because if they're giving you feedback, it's probably like, they're trying to set guardrails, but if they haven't, that means you're probably,
Doing fine.
yeah. And again, like, even though you have an allocation to 25, probably roughly 25 to 30% of it you'll never get. Because we're not gonna approve enough managers to fill that private equity vintage bucket. 24, I think we'll get most of it. Hasn't happened in a while where we haven't seen enough managers on the roster in the year that we wanna allocate to. And again, if you're gonna have, to wanna continue the conversation, I'm happy to come back. If you need me to come back for any other sessions, happy to do so. We have some folks that do every other year on the vintage year basis. I won't be offended. Remember, but like you said, you are getting it in the general allocation, in the GA.
So what you're saying is we're right and we're right, so it really,
It's preference, your funding levels kind of in line with the majority. If you have an extra little appetite for a little extra PE, that's each board's discretion. I'm thrilled that we allow everyone to avail the services, and I can kind of punt on what you should do with an allocation. That's an asset allocation decision.
all right, does anybody have any other questions?
No, thank you.
All right, what's your favorite pizza place?
Well, you have to come back to do it again, you
I'm
love
gonna
it so much.
keep the taste test going. I heard Primo's,
Greek or Italian?
Italian.
Lando's.
Lando's is good. I like
Lando's.
It's different.
TC Lando's.
It's a chain, there's 3 or 4 of them
Oh,
now.
really? What's the name of the place I went to? Mr.
Z's.
Z's. Yeah, I had the small steak and cheese pizza. All the Clinton residents. I don't get a kickback on that. But it was good. I didn't think it, when they brought it, I was like, am I gonna eat this whole thing? After like halfway through, I was like, the dough was really good. I didn't get filled up. I got in the car, drove over, didn't fall asleep.
Well, they make a pizza at Clinton's too.
Oh, yeah.
Right here.
Oh,
It's gourmet pizza,
Clinton's Bar and Grill.
right down the street.
I think we have to have this meeting more frequently. Might not be good for me, but
You're advertising for the retirement board. More money.
Well, you're welcome to come. Welcome to come, enjoy the
again,
get-together.
if we need to do these quarterly until, you make some other decisions, happy to do so. Or-
Good idea. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, can we kind of pencil that in
Yeah,
quarterly?
yeah, we can,
Okay.
sure. You can always cancel them, you know, we can just hold the spot. You can hold your reservation,
Yeah,
no breakup fee to cancel a reservation.
Cost, no cost to cancel?
I still might come and get the pizza. Everyone have a great Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
See you.
And let me know, I know I'll be in touch with you
Yes.
on that item we discussed earlier. And then I owe you the question on the private equity outside of the Precor. And probably get those to you early next week, if that's
Okay.
okay.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
And
Good to see you.
Enjoy Thanksgiving. Thank you.
See you.
Thank you, great to see you.
Good seeing you.
Safe travels back.
Thanks.
How often do you see Paul?
I saw him remotely. He's on the time phone board. So it's always fun to hear his voice. talk to him.
Tell him we say hi when you talk to
I
him
will,
here.
I will. Is anyone going to the fall Maccas event?
Where's Springfield?
December.
Springfield?
Yep. Everybody wants to go to Springfield.
Possible, it's possible.
Outside chance.
Thank you again.
All right, everyone, have a great day. Bye now.
Take
Bye-bye.
care.
All right, so we should get back into our meeting. Let's see, Stan Starr's not gonna, for item number one, we have our consultant, we have some information from Francesco, so. Summary, 1A. Anybody want anything to do with that?
I just, summary was emailed to you guys.
Everybody get the 1A, and it just says
Yes.
that, the only thing is private equity is a negative 0.16 for the month. Anybody anything else on that? How about 1B? For the monthly statement? For Clinton? Anybody else out with that?
Acknowledge.
Acknowledge. What do we have? 1C? Net of fees report?
So if you didn't get that yet, you'll probably get it next week,
Okay, so you can expect that.
and I'll email it.
1D?
This is the private equity that he was just kind of going over.
Right.
Yep.
So this month, $879.81.
A lot.
Okay. Then we got financials monthly report for Clinton Retirement Review, which we're going to do now. Treasurer's monthly cash reconciliation.
Need a motion on that? 1E?
Motion.
Second.
Motion made, second. Patty, still things going okay?
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
That was 1E, 1F,
So
monthly accounting packet.
I'm still working on it, but you'll have it within the week. I'll email it.
Okay. Let's see, next one, draft minutes. Anybody have anything for draft minutes?
Motion.
Second.
A motion made, seconded. Anybody have anything that they want to add? Motion made, seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that was the draft of the, let's see, monthly account, draft minutes. Let's see, Clinton Town Board regular monthly meeting. It says, no stand, I have there, warrant.
Motion to approve the November warrant total 499,874.32.
Second.
Motion made, second. Patty, anything we should know that's out of the ordinary?
Nope,
I don't
just,
see anything. Motion made, seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
That was number 4. Number 5. Number 5, transfers out.
Number 6.
Number 6.
I'm sorry, it's never,
Six,
yeah, there's
okay.
no refunds on 5,
Yeah.
so number 6.
Motion to approve the transfer of number 6.
Yep,
Kaylee Force.
yep.
Motion made.
Second.
Creditable service.
I'm
1
sorry.
year, 2 months,
All right.
sorry.
Motion made, second, all in favor?
Aye.
6A.
Motion to approve the transfer from Matthew Chappelle.
Chappelle.
6 months creditor service.
Second.
Motion made, seconded. Any discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
6B.
Motion to approve the transfer for Kate Moran, accepting 4 years and 1 month.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Number 7, there's nothing for retirements this month. Number 8,
Number 8, we're going to table, actually, because she didn't get all her paperwork in. So she was already on the agenda, but we'll take care of her next month. Do we need a motion to table her? or-
You should,
Okay.
yeah.
motion made,
Motion to
seconded,
table Riley Machad.
Second.
All in
Did I-
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So who'd you say that was for? Mashad? Okay.
Yeah.
8A. Kevin Murray? Go ahead.
Motion to accept Kevin Murray, this grounds, start date 11/3.
Second.
Motion made, seconded. Any discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
8B.
Motion to accept Natalie Jean Baptiste, instructional assistant, start date 11/12.
Second.
Motion was made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
8C.
Motion to accept Kerry Gemma, instructional assistant, start date 11/12.
Second.
Motion made, seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
8D.
Motion to accept Jerry Hickey, ABA instructional assistant, start date December 1.
Second.
Any seconded, any motion, all in favor?
Aye.
8E.
Motion to accept Amaya Duran, dispatcher, start date 11/2.
Second.
Second, any discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, there's an 8F.
Yep, motion to accept Kaylee Wolf, program coordinator, start date 11/17.
Second.
Seconded, any discussion, all in favor? We go to 9, new pension fraud poster. Patty, do we have
Yep,
to do anything about that? or-
It's just posted. We hang it
That's
up like they asked. Yeah.
Informational on the fraud poster. 9A, valuation report.
Oh, the actuarial report, yep. I emailed it to you. I can print it if you'd like, but they haven't sent me the hard booklet yet. Oh, do you have the hard booklet?
I
Or you
just printed, I
it?
printed it.
So if anyone else has a copy in the office, but if you want your own copy, I'll print it up for you.
Okay, that's for informational. Everybody all set with that? That was 9A. 9B, memo. Has to do with follow-up to memo number such and such.
We don't have any eligible members, so we don't have to worry about that, section 100.
Okay, so that's just informational.
Yep.
That was 9B. 9C, forfeiture retirement.
And there is, unfortunately, there's many, many pages of all the names of the people that, if you ever want to look at it, I'll forward it to you, or you can go on the PERIC website. It does list all the names, but I don't think I made a copy of all
No,
the
we
names.
didn't get, at least I didn't get a copy. I don't know if anybody thinks it's necessary for those copies. Is it? Patty,
No one
is it?
from Clinton.
No one from Clinton, so we're
I'm
all
all
set.
That's all that matters.
9D, cyber security training. It's coming up. It says, training is available again in 2026 for board administrators and staff. It doesn't say anything about the board members.
So I'll try to, I'm sure it is a credit class.
I would
um,
think so.
For board members.
I went to one for cyber, and it was very interesting. It gave you all the things that we probably could be working in the back of a head for, in the back of the head.
I'll log in the December 15th.
Yeah, I will as well.
But we still don't know. Seems kind of scary if you think you're covered and you're not covered and what's
It
going
is.
on, so.
I know.
So we'll just take it under advisement, Patty, you think, and just,
But as far as,
cyber.
well, I'll attend that webinar, but now
December 15th at 2
Yeah.
PM.
it's a webinar, so just log in.
Okay. Okay, we've got 9, that was cyber training, 90. Number 10, correspondence, there's none. Number 11, cyber insurance. So that kind of follows what we just got through. I mean, there's a big packet over here.
Maybe we should table this until after that next discussion on the
Okay.
15th, and then maybe take it up in the next meeting. That seems reasonable.
So table.
Motion to table it.
I believe, wasn't there a discussion with Mike Ward also, that we thought we might have some, we didn't have some, and we're not sure if we.
We do have some to the degree that it services our office, I'm not sure. So I
Okay.
think
I'll be honest, like, I was reading through the policy, but I don't know that I understand all of the language.
It might be a little clearer after that meeting on the
Yeah.
15th.
Right.
So they've
So we're gonna
given,
follow up the next meeting, definitely, but I don't- unless there's a reason for having another meeting, we'll just have it in our following meeting.
Yeah.
All right? Is that okay? Number 12, adding request for proposals.
so Michael Sacco's contract is up in March, so we need to go out to bid. And we prepared this request for proposal notice, and we prepared it based upon the language used in the last time we went out to bid for legal. And there's a template on the PARAC website, which we also used. And then there's a calendar to tell you the timeline. So we really, if you guys agree that this is what you want your RFP to say, that's what you're looking for, then I'll go ahead tomorrow and send it down to PARAC. PARAC has to approve the posting before they post it.
Well, and it's probably very similar to what we used last time.
Yeah, it's the
Is
same
there any-
thing.
Is there anything in there that you think we should be discussing now, or is everybody, I think we should just go ahead what we did
I think
before?
it's fine.
I'm fine with it.
I think we're all set with keeping the same legal firm. Is that correct?
Well,
Well,
we have to.
We'll have to,
We have to go out
yeah.
I know,
Yep,
fine.
and maybe interview. We'll see what responses we get.
I understand. All right. so
so
that
I'll
was
give you an
number-
update next meeting.
Okay. That was number 12. That was election. For new, not necessarily new member, but just for election.
I'm sorry, I'm going back to the RFP, though. Did anyone look at the schedule, just to make sure it's
I
okay?
did.
Looks fine.
So we're saying the RFP has to be returned by 12/19. Bidding closes,
12:30.
yep, okay.
So do you see anything wrong with that time?
No,
frame?
I was just,
I look. I think it's good. You and Mary did a great job on this, or you, or whoever, but
Okay, so we're all set with that? And 12A,
so 12A, we have an election coming up, Joe's term, and so I guess the question is, do we want to run it by mail or in a polling place? And
what's easiest for you?
I think we've been doing it by mail, and it has been fine, so we can do it that way. And hopefully Joe's running again.
Joe?
I heard
Joe.
his eyelashes going up, I don't know, but I think, anyway, if we went the way we did it last time, and everybody seems okay with that, and Patty and Mary must be okay, so we'll do it the
Oh,
same
yeah.
way?
Yep.
Okay?
I don't know, do we need a vote or no?
I don't know.
Well, we have to do it.
Oh, right, but as far as how you do it, but you're right, as
No.
long as, so we're gonna do it by mail like we always do it.
We agree. We
All
all,
set with it, that's good, everybody?
we all see the
Yep.
schedule and by mail, and good idea.
All right, the next thing I have, actually, it's 12B is what I have here. I don't know if everybody has 12B in front of them.
Yep.
Okay, we have a letter to, from Stan, saying that he has resigned. And I think we all knew that anyways, but I think that's another issue that we either have to take care of here, we do an executive session, or how do we want to handle this? And we have to make
Well,
some,
we have to decide if we're going to do an RFP for that.
that's what I'm saying, we have to
Right.
decide that first, and,
Are we terminating him right away, trust advisory right away, or what does the board wanna do with that?
I mean, there's another letter in there, also. Did everybody get a copy of this? That he sent?
I didn't,
A
what-
copy, it's a copy from me telling me, actually should be to the board that was sent, so what should be taken, what kind of action should be
Well,
taken.
if we decide to terminate, we need to let Trust Advisory Group know.
So we have how long is our contract with them?
I feel like another 5 years, but,
So are they sending somebody else or not?
well, I didn't know if I should contact them until I knew what the board wanted me to do. And I don't think that they have another representative.
And I believe we can terminate.
One at a time?
I made a copy of,
No
let's
cause?
see if I
Oh,
have
we
it.
have cause.
Because he left. And no one else left.
So our contract was with Trust Advisory Group, though.
Right.
Yeah. That's
So
what I'm saying.
I think it's reasonable to touch base with Trust Advisory Group and ask them if they have other
And
agents
if
that
not,
they
that's-
would like to engage with us, and if
that's
they
reasonable.
don't, then we should move on from
Then we
there,
can get
I
rid
would
of them
think.
if they don't send somebody, you know.
Right.
I would like to add something else in there, even though we would like to continue, we don't know who they're gonna send or
Right.
what capabilities that we have.
Of course.
So if we say we wanna continue, then they send people here that don't understand what's going on,
Then we can terminate.
okay.
Well, if we don't like them, that's cause.
Right?
Right.
I
Just
mean, I tend to think if we're going to go that route, if we can terminate easily.
We can.
Why wouldn't we just terminate and do an RFP? And if they want to come in, they can come in, but we get to meet them. Rather than wait and see who they're going to send and then say, we should have done an RFP.
If we want an RFP,
I guess the difference is a month, and
We won't know until they send somebody, right?
I think Dave was saying, give them a chance and
Okay.
and then go from there.
Okay,
I mean,
I mean,
it's, if they don't let us know by next month, I mean,
I have no problem terminating the contract. It's fully within our ability to do so without any penalty, but we do have a contract, and we should at least explore the opportunity with them to see if they can provide someone. And then if we're not happy with that
Can we
individual
make a
or
contingency
representation,
vote, ask them if they're gonna send somebody, if they're not, then
then we
terminate,
move on,
and
and,
then we could do an RFP for a new person quickly,
Sure.
within the month.
right.
yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
So I'd like to make a motion that, the motion would be to ask them if they're gonna send somebody, and if not, then we're gonna have to terminate, because we want somebody here. And then in that case, you could start the search for, RFP, or, am I saying it right, RFP for the next person. So we could do that, if they don't, if they say no one's coming next week, we could start the ball rolling.
Would we like to put some caveat in that saying, give us a resume of what you're gonna send us, the person, what kind of background he has?
I'd like
If they
to
send a
know, we have
person
to
that-
know, I'd like to know who
that-
he is,
That deals
or she is.
in something different, it's just prolonging this, I think.
Yeah, so we, I think,
don't they have the option to terminate also?
They do.
They do.
Yeah, so they may just want to terminate themselves.
They may, if they,
That's true.
especially if they don't have somebody available. I
we
mean,
could
I
do
think
this
if they
relatively, find out
understand-
relatively quickly, you know?
I just think we should reach out to them, and so everybody's on the same page.
If
I
they
agree.
understand we would want somebody here every month, and the
So-
last
So that's my
Tuesday.
motion.
So motion to ask Trust Advisory Group if another representative is available, and if not,
If not,
begin the RFP process? Or
then terminate.
Terminate,
And
yeah.
begin the RFP process, because we need someone else to come.
Right.
So
I'll
we won't bother asking them to send some kind of, do they have someone that's capable of handling this?
Well, they'd have, I'd hope they have other.
I would hope so, yeah.
that would be their.
They might not have someone who
Their
wants to come
realm.
to Clinton.
Right.
Right.
So
But-
this is Stone X now, so, okay.
I mean,
So-
the other option is to not have a consultant. We all understand
True.
that.
We could, do you think we just do it by phone, or?
Right,
I don't
that's
think you
what
have
I
to,
was
if
saying.
you just call them and
One
ask them.
RFP.
See what happens with TAG, and at our next meeting,
And then-
decide, do we want an RFP, or are we just going to try to just go with Pritt and maybe have, well, if we said quarterly, I mean, we haven't had that many transactions
No.
in a while. Yeah, changing our portfolio. So, do we want to ask them if they have somebody?
Okay.
Tell them what we require. Leave it at that, discuss it at the next meeting.
And we want to send them an email, give them 10 days for the email?
Sure.
How about adding
Send
that
the email,
have
10
someone
days.
who fit the position?
So the thing is, they don't have access to our statements, just so you know. So
Right.
I mean, I'll have to send him our statements, whoever comes.
Well,
Because
maybe
I
not.
usually send Stan the statements.
If they don't
Right.
respond within 10 days, then maybe
Yeah.
not.
So email to see if a representative is
We'd be
available for the next
available for our
meeting.
monthly
Need a
meetings.
response in 10
Can you add in there to fit the position, or we don't care?
And if they don't respond within 10 days, or don't send us
The
somebody,
person
then
fits the position,
Well,
they're done.
I think we have to trust them, that they would do that.
okay?
And if the person
What they do,
came-
so,
We have a fiduciary responsibility.
yeah, and they're gonna be fiduciaries, they're gonna be Series 6, Series 7, I mean, they should all have that experience.
All right, so email to see if they have a representative. And give them, do you want a time limit?
I'd
Take
say
10 days
10
even.
days is reasonable,
So we
sure,
can start moving on if we have to.
yeah,
Response.
and that they can commit to monthly,
Right.
attending
They
monthly
understand
meetings,
what
that's
the
important.
commitment is,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Might not be somebody in the area.
Right. Monthly meetings.
So I'll second Jim's
There's a
motion.
motion made, seconded. Any further discussion? It's been lingering for a while. Motion made, seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. What else do we have to discuss here?
Private equity.
Oh, yes, thank you very much. Now, what do we want to do about private equity?
Well, I would make a motion to commit $600,000 to private equity for vintage '26.
Second.
The motion made, seconded.
Under discussion, I would say that knowing what we've just learned for '25 and looking at somewhat of a 70% funding ratio from what we requested, that leaves kind of some money on the table. I was originally looking at, I was thinking 500,000. But I think where we're not going to see the funding for '25, it would not be unreasonable to make it 600,000.
I was thinking less or skip a year. So, I don't know.
Just a question, when they leave the money in, can they draw out at any time?
We're just committing to the money.
You're
So we're
committing,
saying
but they
you
don't
can-
take it all, they don't.
They don't take anything until they reach that negotiated agreement
And
with the
sometimes they
with the
leave
manager.
30% behind. Are we-
Sometimes they
Which is
leave,
what
yeah,
he
they
was
can leave the
saying.
whole,
Yeah, that's what he said.
Probably
yeah,
would.
So-
which is why we're leaving 30% roughly behind this year, that we're not
But
gonna get
are we on the
funded.
hook if they decide that they want that 30%?
If they find a manager to take it and they agree that that's a valid project. that would-
They can go back to any year.
Any year?
And change it.
I don't know how far, they've certainly gone back a few
You should have
years.
asked that.
I don't know how far
I
back
think
they
he said
can
it
go.
takes
I didn't
5
think of
years. The
that.
first 5 is when they, after 5 years, I don't think they.
Okay.
Yeah. I
So
think
that's
it's
our
probably
liability,
4,
5 years.
But yeah,
Well,
yeah.
we should
So they
ask
can't go back to
I should have asked them. I asked you,
2014
but I didn't know.
I didn't think
and
of
request
that.
money.
That's a good question.
Yeah, I just want to know
That
what
is
our
a good
liability
question,
is. If they
Can you
get
add,
another-
Patty, can you add that to the discussion
He
with?
said they usually terminate them after 10.
Yeah, but could they go back to 2016 and say,
Right.
hey,
Yeah, I think
you
so.
committed $500,000, we only took 200, so we want 300 more?
I think they can.
I don't know, I mean, they've never done that I've seen.
I think they did
No.
once.
I know they
bet-
they
Yeah.
overfunded one
Right.
time,
Right.
but it was within a 1-year period, though.
I'll ask him
And
tomorrow.
he said
Thank
they
you
could
very
do
much.
that
I
because
should
we
have,
were short on the
but I
other.
just
But we
don't.
have
Maybe,
to do
yeah,
this by
yeah.
December 10th, right?
Right. So you have to decide what you're
So we
committing.
won't meet again.
But I thought he said overall, like as of right now, overall, it's like 30% is going to be left on the table.
Right.
No matter,
For 25.
was it, I thought it was for the whole, I thought he was.
No, it was just for the
It was
25
just for the
vintage year,
25.
And
yeah.
maybe to expect the same, what we say for
Yeah.
26, but I don't think he knows. I mean, I don't think anybody knows.
Right.
I'm not saying
That's
he
true.
doesn't know. I just believe that it's speculation, and I don't know
Yeah,
that
so maybe
anybody could tell
they
us.
fund 400,000 or something like that, is the actual amount.
All that money's put to, it stays put to work until they
Right.
pull it in the other areas.
Right, and part of it's
Yeah,
in
it's still in
private
So
equity
it's
it's
and-
still in the core
It's
fund
not
until.
just sitting somewhere
yeah.
doing
Yeah,
nothing.
right.
Yeah.
So if we vote,
A motion made, and I think it
600
was seconded?
right
I don't
now.
know if it's seconded or not.
Are you up for 600?
I second it.
yeah, they seconded it, so
Yeah,
there's a
my
motion.
motion, Joe seconded at
There's a
600.
motion,
So there's a
600,000.
vote.
Diane said 500.
No, no, I just said if
In
I
discussion.
made the
Under
motion,
discussion,
I
it was
was
just
going to
discussion.
say less, but
So the
I'll agree
motion,
with
the motion that's on the table is for 600,000. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So moved. we have anything else? When's our next meeting, the last Tuesday of the month?
It was written down
Should be
somewhere
written down.
at the end of the
Usually is
minutes.
December 30th, Tuesday, so that's is it, but we really can't go the week before, probably.
Yeah, I can
That's
probably
Christmas
come in,
week.
I don't think I'll work that day, but I can come in.
Do you want to, I mean, we can leave it at December 30th right now and think
That's
about it, and
fine.
if things come up, just let me know, and we'll try to move it around a little bit, like,
That's the way it always
That
is.
should be
but
fine.
yeah.
That's the way it always.
I'm
So
pretty
right now,
happy.
tentatively, the 30th at 3.
That'll be fine.
Any other further discussion coming forward the board? Or this motion of adjourn?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Have a great Thanksgiving, everyone.
You too.
Sure.